in the big
Uh-oh.
pocket.
Oh, no, I'll just do that. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
You guys ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
We've been live for now
Oh, nice.
57 seconds.
Whoops, sorry.
It's all good.
Good way to
It's
start.
all good. Nah, I'm alright, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Alright, guys, welcome to the show. welcome. It's starting really great.
We have
steady yourself,
Yes.
There she goes.
Easy does it, yeah,
Fuck.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
Yep.
So it's just like a regular thing that you guys do every Sunday. Well, you're not here every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Russ Bridges
Yes,
and
sir.
Haley. I can't remember your second name.
Denton.
Haley Denton. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. It's nice to have you on the show. This is probably my 4th episode so far.
Nice.
It's going well, I think. Lots to talk about. I had you on the show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up rumbling for 2 hours at least straight.
At least.
At least. Yeah, it was fun. But today, Russ, you weren't there. We
I had to work on something. I had to do something.
Yeah, you had plans. You had plans,
Yeah.
basically, and So, yesterday at least I had a theme that we were talking about rock climbing, but today I don't really know how to go ahead and do this because you were supposed to be featuring with her in this podcast. So tell us something that we might have missed out. Obviously, you don't know what we talked about.
Yeah.
But how did you get into rock climbing yourself?
Well, I've always loved climbing. So I grew up in Maine, and I would climb trees all the time. And then I started climbing mountains and rocks with my little brother.
Just trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
Climbing trees when I was a kid.
Okay, that's cool. That's
There
cool.
weren't rocks around. It wasn't very mountainous.
So where'd you grow up?
Maine.
Maine. Oh yeah, I think you
East
told me that
Coast up
before.
there.
And then you moved from Maine west.
Yeah. The summer before my freshman year of high school,
Okay.
my mom moved us out to Grand Junction, Colorado.
Oh,
Went to
sweet.
high school there for 4 years, and then I joined the Air Force, and I was in the Air Force for 7 years. Landed in Mountain Home, Idaho, and then I went to school at Boise State, and a bunch of my buddies that I went to school with rock climbed. So
Okay, cool.
They got me into it.
Uni kids or back in high school?
What?
From uni or from high school?
College, university.
College,
Yeah,
university. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Boise State.
What'd you take? What's your undergrad?
Environmental studies with a minor in sustainability.
Oh, more or less what you used to do, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you guys meet? How did you guys even know each other? This should be an interesting story.
This is a good story.
story.
Yeah.
How did I meet Russell? I'm pretty sure he looked the exact same as he does right fucking
Except
now.
like 8 years younger.
Except for 8 years younger, and same with me actually, same. So I was working at the bank. Back to that. Melvo died when he found out that I worked at a bank. He's like, you.
She used to be a
worked-"
corporate
Oh
sellout.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, I told you why. I told you why.
Yeah, you needed the cash, obviously.
Yes,
Sorry.
I needed cash.
Okay.
So because I was a corporate sellout and did not enjoy my job, I would go to this. I worked on Broadway, so I'd go to the Broadway bar.
The Broadway bar? Where is it?
It's right next to, across the street from like BSU kind of, and then there's a U.S. Bank right there, and then there's the Broadway bar
Okay.
and Pie Hole or whatever. I don't want to say I would go to. I feel like I only went like 2 or 3 times. But anyways, besides the point. I did show up one night, and I was just there drinking with my coworkers, and I turned around, and I saw this golden unicorn sitting behind me, and was just like, that is a golden unicorn. I need to
That
get
is
to
a beautiful
know.
human being.
Beautiful human being.
Must have been the hair.
God damn, it was the hair actually. It was. There was a man bun.
I probably had a big beard then too.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh.
It was ruggedly
Very
golden.
Very rugged still.
I
I cannot imagine you
basically
not
now.
having a beard. Like you would just look like a different human being.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, this is the Russell I want to know for the rest of my life.
Don't change.
Don't change.
All right.
You're a pretty awesome guy.
Thanks.
Yeah, so what happened? You walked up to him?
Yeah, keep going.
So what happened is I was at the bar and I turned to the bartender and I said, "Can I get 2 shots of Fireball, please?"
Fireball, big spender.
Big
spender.
And I took those shots right over to Russell and I looked at him and I just said, "Hey, do you want to take a shot of Fireball with me?"
Smooth.
And he said
I
yes.
giggled a little bit.
He did giggle. You did. You did.
Was he just by himself, or
No.
was he hanging out with some friends? of
No,
his?
he was with his buddy, and I don't think it was Sean. I think it was your brother.
Oh, could have been. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Keep going.
But I was not paying attention to that. Whoever was with him, obviously neither one of us was paying attention to who that was. So then, so I gave him a shot of Fireball, and we started chatting, and we hit it off right away, obviously, because we're perfect for each other. And then we were dancing on the dance floor, and then Russell and I turned around, and we were making out. It was like, oh my God, in a huge crowd. Because I was a big old BSU football team. And then whoever Russell was currently seeing comes walking into the other side of us, and me and Russell are making out, and I just feel this presence, this aura of some
Just
woman
staring
staring
at you from
at
the back
my
of your head.
soul. And I just like look over, and she's just looking at me, and then he was like, "Oh, hello!" Went and said hi to her, and then it was fine, and it was totally fine. We
Oh, sorry, I was just
So-
keeping him warm for you.
Yeah.
Before you got there.
yeah. And they weren't actually dating. It was just like a fling.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave you two be. It was great to meet you. For now, I'm gonna go home.
How long ago was this?
This was a while ago.
I don't even remember the year.
But
yeah.
hold on, the best part of the story is that Russell chased me out of the bar and gave me his sweatshirt.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How romantic.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, and then I held on to it for my whole life.
And then you guys have been best friends ever since.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's how it started our friendship.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you guys have a lot in common after that you started hanging out and then realized we both mountain climbers and...
Yeah.
Sorry. You guys are giving me the cough. Yeah, that's a cool story. That's a pretty cool story. But how did you end up
Horrible.
knowing Haley as well? Just sat quietly in the corner, sipping on her tea.
Oh my God, Haley. Okay, so I met both of 2 of these golden unicorns in bars. Now that I'm realizing this,
That is true. Yeah.
2 of my most favorite humans in this world, I met both in a bar. Haley, I met at Tom Graney's. I was downtown with my mom.
Yeah, perfect.
I was out with my mom,
Yeah.
and her and Kinsey, which I already knew Kinsey, came into Graney's, and I think one of the first things I said to Haley was,
Yeah.
one of the first things I said was, "How did you get in here?" Because I thought she was
I looked
under
at her like,
21.
through the door? What do you mean?
Yeah. I was like, "How old are you?" And she was like, "I'm 26, 25."
I was 25.
25, yeah, regardless. She's like, I'm 25. And I was like, oh my God. She looked youthful. You still look super youthful.
Thanks. That's
Yeah.
nice.
What's
Yeah,
the
it's
secret,
unreal
Haley?
how
What's your
young you
secret for
look. Sleep
us
a
mere
lot.
mortals?
Dude, she sleeps so much.
Sleep a lot.
Oh, really?
Eat healthy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Are you also a vegan like her?
No, I did that for 5 months. No, not vegan. 5 days. It
5
lasted
days?
5 days. Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good, actually. I do too.
Yeah, it's a challenging lifestyle being a vegan, I feel. Russ, are you a vegan?
No, and I never will be.
No, never.
No.
It's very strong sentiments.
Yeah.
You think it's a lifestyle choice, or do you think people need to?
Oh, I think it's an excellent choice, but I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, there's so much.
It's good for everyone. It's good. It's good for people that do that.
Yeah, I guess it's not really for everyone.
Yeah.
How long have you been a vegan for?
Very long time. Like
As far back as you can remember.
9 years or so. Longer. 9 years.
What initiated the change? Why did you feel like you had to
Ooh.
change your lifestyle and follow this trend?
It was we talked about this in our last podcast. A
I
little
can't
bit when
remember.
kind of like, I didn't answer this, but I did talk about how I hit a point in my life when I moved away and went to college. I kind of started becoming a more conscious human being, evolving on my own. and becoming more and more aware of all things around me, and I was meditating a lot, and it kind of just was brought to my consciousness that that was how I felt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your cat seems to be very sociable today.
What does he want?
I don't know. Maybe love.
Cuddles.
Love. But yeah, cool. So, anyways, what do you guys want to talk about today? Honestly, I have no theme. Hey. And how long have you lived in Boise, Haley? Because I remember you did mention to me that you moved here from Reno.
I did. I've been here about 4 years now.
4 years?
4, yeah. Be
What?
5 in January.
Why Boise?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Just to change of life.
To change your
New
life?
scenery.
From Reno, though, I would think maybe you'd move further south to Cali.
You would think I'm from Cali?
No, I would think you would want to like changing life, so like low pace, like.
I don't like traffic.
You don't like traffic?
So no, that's a no for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to get closer to the mic.
Oh, can you not hear? Me?
Yeah. The audio quality is very. These mics are not the best. If you want to try and get the sound going in from underneath, even same for you, Russ, I can sort of kind of hear you sometimes.
Hello.
Let's have a look. It's just starting really slowly, yeah, so it's gonna
Rotate it.
yeah, rotate it a bit. Let me just do it. Basically, we haven't even started this one.
Nice. Gotcha.
Just get it from that angle. Wait, it's gonna where's your sock?
Put your sock on it.
Get your sock on.
Always wrap it.
How's that sound? Chickadee check. 1, 2.
Perfect.
Hello.
Perfect. You have a radio sound.
Thanks.
You have one of those radio voices of
Yeah.
I can picture myself listening to the radio at 7 a.m. in the morning on my way to work.
I used to host a show on Radio Boise.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Community radio.
How long ago?
2 years, and I had it for about 2 years.
Okay.
It was 1 to 3 a.m. on Sunday night, Monday morning. So it was
At what time did you say?
1 to 3 a.m.
1 to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So like the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Sunday nights, and I didn't have to work Mondays, so it was
Okay.
nice. But
What was your show about?
it was I played stand-up comedy and like funny music,
Okay.
funny stuff.
Did you have guys on the show that late at night?
I would pre-record an interview.
Okay.
So I've interviewed a bunch of the local comics and people doing big stuff here in Boise in the comedy scene.
How's the comedy scene here? Because
It's growing. They used to have a Funny Bone here, and that was like the only comedy spot, the only stage really. But there's a lot of open mics around town and a lot of big names that come through actually.
yeah, even there, like a couple of weeks ago, there was the comedy festival where
Yeah,
you
208
had,
Comedy Fest. Yeah,
where you had
that was big.
is that like a festival organized by Boise comics or?
Pretty much. I think there's like a certain troupe or a certain organization that puts it on, but then yeah, mostly it's a lot of everyone just helping out and getting it going, and it's a lot of different venues that participate. I know like the Egyptian Theater has 1 or 2 of the headliners there,
Yeah.
and it's just all weekend, just different comedy bits and
Oh, cool.
locations. Yeah.
Cool. Do you still do comedy?
No.
Pretty funny. I feel like you could have been you could have been successful if you chose to actually follow through with it.
And I've been thinking about it lately, and I think I may look into it. Like I definitely have been keeping mental notes of jokes or funny things, and then like starting to write things down. So
Yeah.
there's a potential there. I think it'd be fun as hell. Also like self-mutilating, I'm sure,
Self-mutilate.
but could be healthy.
Yeah, I remember.
Shit. Oh my god, yes.
I remember last night you met up with this friend of yours who you guys were having a chat about maybe going and doing a couple of specials or open mic at there's this comedy
Oh, yeah.
theater here in Boise.
Yeah, the Liquid.
The Liquid Laughs.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice
Yeah.
comedy club.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very intimate as well.
Yeah.
You're really close to the stage, and everyone's really close to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a few shows there. It's great.
Yeah, my biggest fear, if I was ever to become a live performer, is not getting the type of reaction you expect from the crowd,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
i.e. bombing. Boiling hard, yeah. So you never know the type of crowd and your type of jokes if it works.
Right.
And there's only one way to find out, I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
I'm not worried about bombing actually, because I think I'm pretty good at reading crowds and reading people, and I'm pretty damn funny. But
did you ever go around the country into different comedy clubs and performed?
Well, I definitely have been around the country. I mean, I've been to a few comedy clubs around, but not. I've never like intentionally went to other comedy clubs around the country. But
like touring, because I hear it's quite common with comedians to like do.
Would I? Yeah.
Oh, have you?
I haven't. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
But would you though to promote your
absolutely.
your work?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, plus especially nowadays there's so many comics, but I feel
right. Oh yeah.
Writing
everyone's
stuff.
Trying to be funny.
Everyone's trying to be funny. Everyone thinks they're funny. Yeah. It's a tough industry.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
But anyways, anything interesting going on in your life, other than
all the
time. Getting back into comedy
every day. What's interesting? I learned how to weld. Welding is insane.
Oh yeah. So what do you do actually for work? I don't even know.
I build shipping container homes.
Okay.
So sustainable, like upcycled, repurposed homes. And I'm a welder. So in the first stage of the building process, I cut the container, cut out the entryways and doorways and windows, and then put a 2x2 or 2x4 steel frame in.
Okay.
And then send it down the line.
It's a company here in Boise, or?
Yeah, it's based out of Boise, but the warehouse is in Caldwell.
Caldwell.
Yeah.
It's quite the drive for you to go to work every day.
Yeah, we carpool. We try to.
Oh, you carpool?
Yeah.
How far is it, like, from here? Like,
it's a half an hour.
Half hour is not too bad, but with the morning traffic, it's kind of mental.
It can be sometimes when there's accidents and whatnot, but for the most part, the flow of traffic is coming into the city, and I'm going out of the city. Yeah. So it's more. Okay. It's always busier on the other side. That's a good bumper sticker. It's always busier on the other side.
It's always busier. Yeah, and how did an environmental scientist get into welding? That's what's most interesting.
Yeah.
How'd you get yourself into that?
Just kind of popped into it. I'm a quick learner, and I've been with the company since the start of it. So, was this something I said?
No, it's the cat.
Yeah. Just cruising around.
Yeah, cruising.
He's the real star of the show.
Ooh.
What's his name? Her name?
His name is Kaimani.
Kaimani. Oh, yeah. We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, we did on our last podcast.
I forget.
I forgot a lot of it. It's okay.
I'm actually surprised how you kept track of everything we spoke about.
I have a pretty good memory.
Oh yeah?
When it comes to listening to people.
Do you think it's boosted by certain ingredients?
Attention. A little bit of attention, a little bit of fucks given, and then you mix them up together.
Oh, care. Okay, caring and listening, I guess.
Yes. That's it.
Okay, but are you looking into pursuing a career with what you partook in university?
Oh yeah, I feel like I am.
You are?
Like I feel like I use my degree to every day, really.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way though? Because if it's welding.
Well, it's just we were weld. We're a sustainable company, so we recycle, just recycling every day and just being conscious of earth-friendly things.
Did you have to take a philosophy class for your degree?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Boy. Got it.
Nice shit.
Let me fix that up really quickly.
Technical difficulties. Let's take a break. Yeah,
Welcome back, guys. This is a very tame. I feel like you guys kind of froze up and are feeling kind of stiff.
We froze up.
Tiffany, you're not really saying much today.
I'm getting loose.
He's getting loose. We're getting loose. Conversation is flowing, but
absolutely. Well, I don't want to you were asking questions about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. So. Is your company providing housing for? Are they selling the containers as a way of providing housing for the locals? Or how does that work?
Locals, so a lot of the interest is coming from investors, mostly nonprofits, and people who get grants for low income and extremely low income support. So we advertise as affordable homes, and a lot of the investors are looking at the homes for that reason and to put people.
Oh my god, the theme of this podcast should be how fucking high are they?
Well, those are the best kind of podcasts when
I was like
everyone's
putting myself to sleep. I'm just like super monotone and slow talking about homes. Yeah. So, they're trying to fix the housing market and put people in homes.
Okay,
That's
good.
all. That's all.
Good.
That's it.
Moving along.
Okay.
Moving along. Okay, fair.
Better hit this.
Better hit that, yeah. Better hit that. Let's see how high we can get. Let's see how weird this podcast can get. Actually.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
No one.
Let's talk about some weird shit.
No one's. What do you want to talk about? Okay,
Let's
so
talk
that
about
was
weird shit.
that was just a little bit of an intro for
Yeah.
everyone to
Welcome, everybody.
set the base
We
and
now know.
and have everyone know who we are interviewing.
Yeah. Let's talk about weird shit, though, now that we've interviewed everybody.
Okay, fair. Well, not really Haley. Haley hasn't really said much. Do you have anything to share for the viewers and
Haley
listeners?
is a beautiful human who grew up in Reno, Nevada. She is one of a kind, a unique individual.
Mm-hmm.
She has no side effects.
I have many side effects.
She recently conquered a fear of rock climbing.
She
I
recently
did.
conquered a fear.
I
Yeah.
Did you actually go? Oh wow.
So we're
Wait.
still on rock climbing.
Also, yeah.
I guess.
But also, I just want to put this out to the world. Haley asked her boyfriend out, which I think is so badass.
I don't.
She asked him. She was like, "Will you be my boyfriend?" So I just wanted to put that out. She also did that.
Okay, just give us a sec. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Talk.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So anyways,
happen?
oh,
What led to it?
what led to that? Well, Haley got high as a kite. She sat on some rocks,
High on what?
high on drugs,
Life.
on
In
life.
life, yeah.
Drugs and life, obviously. Yeah, you can't have one without the other. I'm just kidding. Okay. Sorry, Melvo.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's just the mics are a bit weird and how we sat.
How's that?
Let's hear it.
Does that sound a lot better?
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect,
Oh, good.
perfect. Yeah, I was kind of catching
God
you.
damn. The way you just like, perfect.
it's
Perfect.
Holy shit.
Oh.
I'm under attack. Okay, so
under
you
attack.
met your boyfriend,
Oh, God.
Taylor.
Taylor.
Tay.
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 How long have you guys been doing it for?
Doing it?
Okay, when I say
Doing
Like
this
fucking?
thing
You
called
mean
life?
like fucking?
Or each other?
like,
There's your theme. The theme today is doing it.
Doing it?
like how long have you guys been dating?
Not very long.
Not very long.
Only a month.
Only a month?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's great.
Big shout out to Taylor.
Tay, what's up?
Tay Tay.
Forgot.
Hey.
Is he a local lad?
He is actually originally from Boise, Idaho.
Okay, and how'd you meet? For you to propose to him on the first day.
We met at a music festival in Sawtooth.
Sawtooth.
Mm-hmm.
Who was playing?
With a lot of people.
Oh, it's a music festival.
Yeah, it's a
okay.
festival, yeah.
Well, where is Sawtooth? I don't even know what that is.
Sawtooth, so Idaho's famous for their mountains and their
Okay.
Sawtooth Mountains.
Close to Boise
Stanley.
or?
It's in Stanley.
Stanley.
Idaho. Yep.
Like 4 hours
Beautiful.
away?
Yeah, it's about 4.
Never been.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
So you met him there. You guys had the whole weekend festival treat.
Yeah, and his friends stayed, and
Mhm.
he didn't have a ride back.
Okay.
And my lovely, beautiful friend Tiffany made me Uber him around.
Matchmaker.
So yeah, that's kind of how it happened.
Oh, good. And then, because I feel like there's a story here you're trying to evade. So you asked him out blatantly, like, "Hey,
Well, I was I was on Molly, so and I was just
Molly.
seeing some lenses, and I was getting a little feelings. I just And I was sitting in beautiful Lake Tahoe on a rock,
Okay.
and there he was in
Okay.
my mind. And so I just asked him out.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the things. I feel like guys have to break the barrier. It doesn't always have to be the guy
Yeah.
courting.
That's true.
It's more empowering actually
Thank you.
as a woman. Being
Yeah.
like, hey, owning up to what you want. Hey, I want you, motherfucker. Come here.
Yeah.
You're mine now.
Yeah, that's why I'm so fucking
Yeah.
stoked about that. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, I have to tell people about what Haley did. Like,
It's pretty awesome.
as a woman, that is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mhm.
Is that exactly the same thing with what happened to with you and Zach?
I don't remember how that happened. No, he pursued me.
He pursued you.
Yeah.
Oh. That must have been.
Yeah, McCall.
Yep.
Like, oh,
That is-
did you meet?
but I
did you
pursued
meet that?
Russell. That was that way.
Clearly,
yeah.
you girls are not shy of going for what you want.
No,
No woman should
Like a
be.
pouncing puma.
like a pouncing puma, literally.
Like a pouncing puma. I say.
Take two. All right, so Tiff, you want to talk about some weird stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about some weird shit.
What's weird in your mind?
What's-
What do you want to talk about?
What's weird in my mind?
Have you ever tried drugs?
It's not weird in my mind. Have
Mom.
I ever tried drugs?
Drugged.
Hold on, let me just hit this really quick and then I'll answer that question. No, this is my first time.
This is your first time.
Yeah.
Drugs are good
Nope.
for you.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, to all the kids listening, yeah, just go ahead and.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding. no.
Make sure to put a I'm over 18 little banner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I hear, there's things you guys can get here that I can't really get at home. Like, let's say mushrooms, which is actually just been passed and made legal in Colorado
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
a couple of months ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Been on them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How do I'm obviously until you try the psychedelic experience, you can't really explain. Oh, can you? So what did you see once you're on them? Anyone care to? Russ?
I don't know.
How was your experience?
My trips aren't. They're rarely very trippy. Like they're rarely very hallucinogenic or like out of this world and stuff. It's just for me, it's vivid colors and I'm super happy and a little like.
Well, you're usually super happy
floating.
most of the time.
Yeah. So I feel like it just it enhances my regular life.
Oh.
It doesn't like fuck me up too bad.
Are you still functional though? when
Yes.
you're on them?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
drive?
I think so. Like, I mean, of course, there's a limit. I don't normally drive. No, it's usually like a fest or something. But definitely
Tiff Daff?
functional. Tiff Daff.
Yeah. Yeah, partaking in it all.
It's okay.
She might be on them right now.
Right now, we don't know.
Even if you
Pocket
pause,
drugs.
hey, listen, don't be in a rush to just like say anything.
No,
We'll always edit the pauses and just feel free, just feel relaxed. I'm sure you're very relaxed right now.
I'm so relaxed. That's
So
what
relaxed.
happened. Is I was just like staring out the window, and I was like, "Yeah." Let me tell you about my time. I'm a pocket drug person. I think all my friends know that.
What's that?
I'm the person that shows up at any event and goes, "Hey, I found some mushrooms earlier. Do you want some?" They were like in my pocket, and it's a true thing. Like I don't even try. I just will be at an event and I'll look in a pocket of some bag and like there's some mushrooms or some acid, and I'm like, "Yeah, I should probably share these with my friends."
Sharing is caring,
Sharing is caring. And I also want you to know that last night when we were at Oktoberfest, I met this new person, and he works downtown, and he asked me what I did, and I said, "Oh, I'm a wilderness therapy guide," and he automatically assumed that what I did for my job, we didn't talk about it, automatically assumed that I take people out into the wilderness and dose them with mushrooms and take them on these psychedelic experiences.
I feel like that should be someone's job.
That's what I said. Yeah. I said, well, if that was a thing, I would be doing that. And I am so grateful that you just automatically saw me as that person. Like, so grateful.
Well, yes. I think
You get those vibes?
I get those.
gonna
Just
be
Like, what
Yeah.
does she do?
Yeah.
She just takes people out into
Yeah,
nature,
it's,
doses
funny.
them.
we might be doing this for a while. So
Oh, yeah.
easy does it, mate. But it's
Whatever,
really
I'm
good
home.
whiskey. It's really good whiskey.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
true.
is. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, it is.
I'm home.
Oh, jeez.
Get
Jeez.
attached to your neck.
I'm all relaxing.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Just
Hey, man.
last night, Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Good times.
I didn't know Oktoberfest was quite popular. It's quite the popular event
It was
worldwide.
even busier earlier in the
Yeah.
night. Before you guys came, it was packed.
Yeah, we got there around 8. I'm guessing all the old people had already left, and it's mainly a bunch of random guys who were waiting to go out after the event, the festival.
You are so right.
But yeah, it's so funny how Oktoberfest. So what is actually Oktoberfest? Is it like it's a German holiday or like a German festival? But how did it seep through the world like that? The things like I've never understood how that works.
Everyone likes to drink. Kind of like St. Patty's Day, I think.
Yeah. Any holidays, an excuse
Any
to
excuse
drink.
to drink.
Any excuse to drink? Well, here in the US, you guys, it's good for here in the US because you guys rarely get any time off work, like a couple weeks in the year. So you try and
Yeah.
have the little time to try and fix in as many things as you can. And it's a very I feel like being here in the US, I would be so stressed out if I lived here. I don't know how you guys just go ahead
Yeah.
by your daily life like that. Because how many weeks off do you have in the year?
2 for me.
2 in the year.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Paid like that's paid vacation.
Mate,
But-
2 weeks though.
Yeah. it's
You're
not
working
bad.
for how many days
Yeah.
in the year? Maybe 250 days throughout, and then maybe
Probably, yeah.
the weekends and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, we talked about Tiffany's time at work.
Yeah.
I feel like that would.
She's got a non-traditional work schedule. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very unorthodox.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
It's pretty cool.
Fits my lifestyle pretty well, I think. I think I might be unorthodox.
You see you see yourself doing that for a while now.
It's hard. I feel like I see myself doing it for a while, but I also feel like it's something that's just a good transition. I'm definitely going into it. I knew I was going to be transitioning into something else.
So what are you looking at doing now after?
Probably school. It's
Excuse
like it's
me?
a school, probably school.
You
It's
going back to school?
Yeah.
What did you want to take? I thought you were done with that.
I just didn't know. I just didn't, I wasn't going to go do something that I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't
Okay.
want to rush it. I've never been someone that's like traditional in the box of like, you're going to go do this and this and this, and this is how you have to be done by this and married by here. I don't believe in that. I just believe in like following my life and where it's going to take me. And when I'm ready, then I'm ready. And
I was kind of surprised you didn't move to Alaska
with Zach?
with Zach.
Oh, God.
I feel like that would have been such a Tiffany move, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I might, but not for Zach. More for just the fact that I would have the opportunity
To
to
live in
move,
Alaska.
to live in Alaska.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong.
I'm not saying that you are clingy that much, but I'm just saying,
Like,
as an opportunity to move
Yes.
somewhere else, I
Right.
think you relish
Yeah.
that chance.
I would. Yeah. But
You know,
yeah. If it was like yeah.
but you still have Russ here and Haley and close friends that you don't really want to go ahead and start a new life completely out somewhere else in the wilderness.
I do have to admit that these guys have kept me in Boise for longer than I thought I would be. Yeah.
Well, this is
I'd
pretty
agree with
cool.
that, too.
Boise's great too, yeah. But
Yeah.
the people are amazing as well.
Yeah. And Haley, tell us a little bit more about yourself
Hey,
first
hey.
before we get into a very
Hey,
crazy
hey.
chat about nonsense. So what do you do for work?
I'm currently like a receptionist / president's personal assistant right now.
President's personal assistant.
Yeah.
For which company? Oh, is that supposed to not be? Where do you work? Or what do you do?
Oh, I work
What's
for
your everyday
Johnson
job?
Thermal system.
Okay. What does that entail? What's the company about? I have no idea. Okay, she's getting super
She
chill.
doesn't want to talk about her.
Yeah, okay. moving
move
along.
on. Just
Moving
move
along.
on.
Moving along.
No one wants to talk about their job.
Yeah, so Reno, so in comparison to Reno and Boise, would you ever move back home?
There's reasons I would, just because my family's all there.
Okay.
But no,
That's
Boise's
about
home
it.
now.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm
Well,
aware of that.
guys, you guys are not making this easy for me.
I know. I
Guys
was just
suck.
thinking that.
I was just gonna say that.
But anyways, well.
I'm not happy that the weather's getting cold, though.
I love cold.
Well, you can join in the bandwagon and come meet us, like in Kenya in the next couple of
I
weeks.
would love to do that. But
So it's not expensive. Russ, you were looking at flights? It's like
Yes.
It's like 300.
Very
600.
affordable. 600 both ways.
Yeah, there will be so much to do. And I feel like during the winter here, because I have not been in the cold in such a long time, and I'm actually happy that I'm living at an ideal time.
Mm.
Because battling another 6-7 months of winter here, it does not sound pleasant.
Doesn't suit you, does it?
Well, I'm from Africa, where on average it's fucking 25-degree weather every single day throughout the year, on average, and I'm just happy to be going back home.
Hello.
Oh, hey, man. How's it
Just
going?
in time, Louise.
Yes, it's not going that well today.
Okay, I have a question for everybody.
Okay, here we go.
I'm curious. What does everybody think the sexiest and least sexiest name are?
Name?
Name.
Like male, female?
Yeah, like male, female. What do you think the most? Like,
The
if you heard
the
that
least
name,
and the most.
the least and the most. Like, if you hear a name, you're like, oh my god, you don't even need to see their face. You're just imagining this chiseled, beautiful, whatever you imagine to be sexy human.
I know the least sexiest name
That's a
for a
good
woman.
Okay, what's the least
Yeah.
sexiest name?
Veronica.
Oh my god, I
Oh,
recently
wow.
had this
That's so rude.
conversation.
Why?
That's so rude.
Why is that rude?
Because Veronica's a good name.
Sexy name. She's talking about sexy name.
Oh,
the
you're
least
talking
sexy.
Sexy.
I thought you were
Okay.
saying.
The least
Least
sexy name.
sexy.
Is, oh yeah.
Oh wait,
bad.
actually, I
Veronica. Yeah, just like that. No, it
That's
doesn't
right.
have a good
Sounds like
ring.
harmonica.
harmonica.
Yeah, no.
I just had
Good
this
call.
conversation actually with a friend
Mm-hmm.
the other day that was telling me they dated a Veronica, and actually in my mind I was like, oh, Veronica, like, that's a hot name, Veronica. Like I think of like I don't know.
Veronica Mars.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like you think of like a Veronica. Like I don't know. Fuck.
Veronica Mars. Was that a show for a
Yeah.
while, or was that a book?
Both? I don't know.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you associate Veronica with somebody. Do you know a Veronica?
I don't know. I do not know about Veronica.
That is awesome. That's cool.
Veronica.
Okay, what about you, Haley?
For a girl,
Or whatever.
It's whatever.
an ugly name, Betty.
Betty.
I don't like Betty.
Ugly, just not sexy.
Not
Louis, you think
sexy.
very highly of yourself, bud.
Like you're not gonna think like Betty.
Louis
Like
is a good
damn,
name.
Betty's fine.
For a
Betty.
girl, I think Mia's really
Ooh.
pretty.
Ooh.
Mia's pretty.
Yeah.
Is it sexy? Mia. Now we're all whoever is
Mia,
Mia
you.
in this world.
Me and you.
Yeah, Mia.
Me and you.
Every time.
Mia and you.
Mia and you.
Russ, we need to hear your name as well.
The ugly name would be Beatrice.
Oh,
Holy
that's
shit!
so
I was
good.
just thinking about that.
I
Definitely
agree,
fucking
100%.
Beatrice.
I actually
Yeah.
know a Beatrice from primary school,
That's weird.
and she was a little cunt. Like, I hated her. Hey, if you're listening, she was a terrible person. She was the class prefect. You know how you have class prefects, and I used to get in trouble because she hated me. So every single time the teacher would come, and we would have like a noise maker list, so the guys were making noise when the teacher wasn't there. And guess whose name was on top of the list every single time? Whereas I would not even be doing anything. She just fucking hated me for no reason.
That's ridiculous.
Oh,
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was traumatic because because back at home at the time, caning kids in school was still a thing. Maybe Louise knows a little bit more about this. But teachers had the right to cane as a form of disciplining the kids in school. So
Okay, what does cane mean?
caning,
Hate.
Caning. Like a whip.
Oh, like,
Like
hitting it. Okay.
getting-
the ruler.
Like
beat up. So you'd get called into the teacher's office. We used to call it the staff room, right? all the teacher staff will work in this massive hallway. And then if you're the kid in trouble, you'd go kneel down in the office. And so every teacher coming back from their class to pick up something in the staff room would find you and like, oh, you're here again. And then every teacher would come around and pinch you or like give you a smack in the head.
Wow.
It's traumatizing a bit.
That's so traumatizing.
And then
what?
Go to learn and you get beat up.
yeah,
I'm here to learn. Oh, Jesus.
yeah, it toughens you up really quickly. So like you would get called in there, and then when your teacher gets back from class, you've already like gone through like 5 teachers who've already given you a good smacking, and then once they come back. They used to use a pipe, like a hose pipe, like a gas pipe which goes into the gas. They used to bring these things from home, like tools of the trade to be.
Jeez.
It's kind of fucked up.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
kind of fucked up, but like so you'd get a good whacking on the back and on the bum, and then it was just it was brutal. And then the government had to step in because some of the kids would go home and find the kid is bleeding back from their back, and they had to outlaw caning, but it's still done secretly in some schools, which is very unfortunate.
Jeez.
But the thing is, the problem is the parents would choose to believe the teacher than the kid. So if I would go home and be like, oh, the teacher really beat me up bad today, and not my dad was actually really good about this, but some other kids' parents would be like, oh, well, you kind of probably deserved it, It's fucking bullshit, man. It's tough. It's tough growing up in primary school back at home. I'm just imagining if that would ever happen here. Like you going and coming back home with a beat up back and red and sore all over.
It happened more with, in my experience, it happened more with kids. Like kids would beat other kids up. Teachers wouldn't. In fact, my teacher, I remember clearly, 3rd grade, because I grew up pretty poor. Yeah. So I would have shoes or holes in my shoes. Yeah. And I remember one of the teachers bought me boots, and I went home with brand new boots, and Mom was embarrassed or whatever, and because she couldn't get me boots, but the teacher saw that and bought me boots. So
but so you see, that's kind of
experience.
It's social responsibility from the teacher. Obviously, she's not doing that to spite or try to make fun.
Yeah.
But I know how it looks for your mom, and a little bit of pride is taken away.
Yeah, but I mean, it was cool to have that for that kind of thing to go on in my school rather than getting beat.
So how do teachers discipline the kids here? Because kids here are pretty bratty, if you ask me.
Absolutely, they are.
So bratty. I actually have a traumatizing teacher experience, but she did not beat me, but she told me that if I was her daughter and we weren't in school, that she would beat me in front of my entire class. I was having an asthma attack. And I was trying to remain calm. Mm-hmm. With my head down on my table. I was in 4th grade, and I was just trying to breathe, and I didn't say anything, and the girl next to me goes, hey, Miss So-and-so. My teacher did not like me from who knows what. Not a kind human, that's for sure.
Back in Utah?
No, this was in Pocatello, actually. And my person next to me goes, I think Tiffany's having an asthma attack. And I just
4th grader.
Yeah. And I look up, and I'm just kind of trying to breathe, and she was she said something. She was yelling at me, telling me that I needed to breathe now or something like that, and to go get some water. And she was escalating my fear. And so I was just starting to lose it because she's yelling at me in front of all my peers. And I was so fucking embarrassed. I was already a very anxious, shy person. I was didn't want anyone to pay attention to me. Just didn't want the attention anywhere. Yeah, and so when everyone was looking at me and she was yelling at me, oh my God, things went south real quick. And I almost had to get sent to the hospital. So as she picked me up in front of my whole class, pulled me over to the drinking fountain and was saying this shit if you were my daughter, I would beat your ass. If we were in school, I'd slap you. And it was wow. I almost wanted to drop out of school and never go back to school after that. My mom was awesome and told me that it was only gonna make me stronger. But yeah, hated it. Still didn't get beat, but fuck me, I would have rather just gotten beat than socially embarrassed and humiliated.
Yeah. but you see, that's on the teacher's fault, failing to recognize that this is not an incident where you're trying to be naughty. It's you're about to die.
Yeah, shit.
Fuck,
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
But she did the same thing to me, so I then got off the bus and got home and was going to tell my mom. My mom had already talked to her. So my mom already had this preformed opinion on how the day went, and it did not go the way. In my mind, it did not go the way that she was telling it.
Yeah, God, yeah, and that's a big problem, because sometimes you find child abuse, because I would say that's a form of abuse. Negligence can pass as a form of abuse, especially if you're someone left in charge with a group of kids.
Yeah.
And what is going on?
So are you against being a parent and hitting your child? Because I was
Okay.
raised to always get hit. So.
There's levels
And
to
I
it.
was a good child.
There's levels to it, I feel. Oh shit, I don't want this thing to knock. A little bit of a pinch here and there. Some tough love goes a long way, other than this super, very sheltering kid where there has to be some form. I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one, because I do understand the merits of having a good communicative relationship with your child, but to some extent, when they're starting to question things, there has to be some level of, not aggression, but like there has to be some level of discipline, which just words and affection will not communicate the discipline through by just talking. There has to be some level of physical discipline. I don't know. What do you think, Tiffany? Obviously, you work with kids and you would know more about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think physical discipline is necessary at all. I think that there is forms of good communication and bad communication. I feel like it's something that you have to start forming with your child at a very young age.
Okay.
I am very aware that kids change and sometimes they don't want to listen and there's not communication. But I do think there's other ways to discipline without physically doing it.
There are ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of
But
other
how
ways.
effective are they with certain type of kids who have a different understanding of what's good and what's not allowed?
Right. It just depends. First of all, there's a lot of different ways to discipline someone and a lot of different ways to show people how to understand why they're doing what they're doing. Like, there's always a deeper root to what they're doing. There's always something deeper than them just being a bad kid. Why are they being a bad kid? What emotionally are we working with? It's not just the surface of, oh, you stole. Yeah, you stole, but what in your life is making you get to that point? You're stealing. Like, something negative and bad is happening to that person who is stealing. They're going through some shit. And they're doing something they shouldn't do. So you have to get down to the root of that. You have to understand, where's that coming from? Do they,
But my question is the physical form of discipline, it does not necessarily mean that the kid is going to get fucked up from it. Because from my generation, how I was raised, my dad used to beat the shit out of me.
Yeah,
But
me too.
I turned out fine, but there's this notion of, and this assumption that if some level of physical discipline is, if your parents put you through it, that it will somehow psychologically affect how you develop as a child going forward. And I don't think that has any correlation to it. There's abuse, there's physical abuse, and I feel like there's physical difference. There's a fine line, like a gray area in between there. Whereas, obviously, as a parent, you don't want to go as far as giving a kid a black eye. You know what I mean?
Or a concussion.
Or a concussion.
That's
Beating
But
up
like-
a child.
But, like, how can you... Haley, I think maybe you and I can see more eye to eye on this.
You're saying because we're minorities?
My dad beat me too.
My mom was
Yeah.
not a very soft human, and that's actually where that comes from. That's why I stem from the polar opposite side. Because I'm like, no, I didn't need to be. My mom used these sayings of, I love you so much, Mom. My mom has grown a lot. I just want everyone to know that. But she would say to me, maybe I can beat it into your head. And in my mind, it's like, no, you can't. Like, what? That's not going to make me understand or want to.
Beating something into your head, but understanding that there's consequences of you not doing something, and this is what happens. Whereas with kids of today, they're like, oh, I'll take away your PlayStation fucking privileges. You can't watch TV for 2, so I have my phone, I have YouTube. There's workarounds, but when they know that something like that level of pain, like a pinch or a belt,
that's not a realistic consequence. How is that a realistic consequence? How are you teaching your kid that's a realistic consequence in this world?
If I find your laundry on the floor and not in the basket, you're gonna get 5 whacks in the head.
That's not how the world goes. That is not realistic.
Or if you're late,
make sense. You're just creating fear in a child's eye.
There has to be some level of fear, and
there
has to be some level of fear for them to align. I feel.
Huh.
I think beating can be a good teaching tool. Like, honestly, because
I think so too.
My mom would beat us, but we wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
Because you get beat. So I think it's
you're trying to avoid.
It depends on the age and depends on the kind of abuse, but
yeah.
I don't know if it's abuse, if it's a parent. I don't know. I feel like it's just managing your offspring that you have to like keep in line, and if they're out of line, it's the parent's responsibility and obligation to realign the child. And if it takes a beating, the child should learn once or twice that you're gonna get beat if you do this or don't do this. And that was my upbringing. Like I learned fast. I learned real fast, and I learned without like privileges. Like we grew up, like I said, poor, and it was awesome. Like I really benefited from it. And we were talking about this the other day. Like it's good for kids to go through shit when they're young because they'll appreciate everything later. Mm-hmm. And these kids nowadays, like the PlayStation and the getting your phone taken away, like that, it's not the same repercussions.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Like I just have to like just get by to get my privileges back. Other than, hey, shit, I'm actually scared. Now I have to act in a certain type of way to avoid this certain repercussion. So it sticks in your mind more when there's some level of fear and pain that, hey, I'm trying to avoid that. So let me be good. Yeah. You know what I mean? But when you have yourself in a state of mind where I'm just trying to get by and I'm just gonna like do the bare minimum so that I can do whatever I want. So like, let's say I'm like, even if I come home 20 minutes late, my mom would just yell at me and I just go back to my room and chill. Whereas if your mom is waiting for you with a belt, an hour late of coming home, you'll never be late again. I promise you. My plus also it's very interesting back at home growing up. It's a child's development is brought up by the society. So my neighbors were allowed to discipline me if they find me being naughty somewhere, like maybe having a cigarette. Not that I did, Mom, but as an example, like if my neighbor would see me like bullying a kid, my parents and society gives you the power to actually discipline a kid who comes from your area because they know they're trying to raise all the kids collectively to become good people in future. So if that means my neighbor and your neighbor and someone else's neighbor discipline your child when you're not there, because you're not going to be there every single time for your child. Maybe when they're 15, 16, they go out and become a bit rebellious. But once the society knows that this kid comes from my area or like your little area, they're allowed to discipline you and pinch you and like give you a good whack in the head, like, hey, go back home and I'm gonna talk to your mom about this, and they would fucking kick your ass. It was funny. So everyone keeps you in check, and there's this level of social discipline for a child, whereas you end up just having to be on your toes and wanting to do the right thing because you never know who's looking, who's like. I know it can be a bit stressful, especially if you're trying to.
It's actually
be a naughty
it's called
kid.
Integrity. So it's doing the right thing even though no one's watching.
Yes.
And I learned that in the Air Force, but I definitely had that same community feeling growing up in Maine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we lived in this little. We're actually like, I think it was like the projects, but main projects, so it was a little not too bad. But yeah, definitely had neighbors and yes, please, neighbors and aunts and uncles and grandparents. Like grandparents always had the right and ability to reprimand or talk to or send someone home or whatever if they had to. But
yeah, that's
yeah, integrity is a good thing because it's just doing the right thing even though no one's watching.
I'm sure,
sure.
Tiffany, you're like struggling to deal with this right now.
No, I was listening, and that's the same shit happened to me when I was younger too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anytime I'd go over to a friend's house or grandparents' house, like, that's the same.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Yep.
they check you hard.
And they should, and I think
have to.
that's diminishing
Yeah,
though.
but now kids nowadays, man, they're so
Yeah.
sheltered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
I would agree
And I'm not
100%.
saying that. I'm not saying like, oh my God, you need to like baby
Shut
your
up.
child
Yeah.
or do any of that stuff. I'm really not, and I'm not saying I'm gonna take away. First of all, I just want it to be known, I wouldn't give my fucking kid a phone or a PlayStation or a fucking TV.
But they kind of need it at this point.
Yeah, they do. So get a goddamn job, and when you can afford it, sure, get one. And then I can't take it away. It's your responsibility to take care of it. It's not mine.
Would you ever cane your child?
Would I what?
Would you ever?
Beat them.
Cane my child?
Yeah.
No,
Stick
I
'em.
wouldn't. I would verbally have a very honest fucking conversation, for sure. I would communicate with them openly and honestly and tell them their consequences of what they will and will not do, like all that stuff. It's just like in life, like, oh, if you do this, do you realize this is going to happen to you? Like, you can't do that.
But they can't understand that at that young, tender age where they don't. Let's say you're successful, you can provide everything for your child. Once they know that they have everything that they could possibly want, they kind of get complacent and lax and be like, oh, my mom's doing well, just tell her to do this. And she'll look out for my best interest if I'm being a shithead or if I'm being a good kid. My mom's always going to have my best interest at heart. Whereas if you have a little bit of tough love sort of thing going on where, hey, fuck you, you'll sleep out in the cold.
Yeah,
for 2
fucking I will
days
say that.
if you're not in line. And
Absolutely,
that's what my
I would
parents
put my
would do,
kid in the
actually.
fucking snow and let him sleep outside. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna beat my kid, but you bet your sweet ass I will have tough love. I have tough love with every single one of my friends too. I am a very honest human.
Yeah.
I do have tough love. I absolutely do. And at the end of the day, everyone also knows, and this goes to my job too. The kids love me.
Yeah,
I
so-
have a very good reaction out there, and it's because I do have tough love. I do lay down the fucking law, and they know that they respect me. I do get respect, but it is because I am who I am, and I lay the law, and I do give tough love. But I'm not gonna beat their ass.
Okay, not beating them. I'm like also like pinching them a bit here and there.
Pinching,
Yeah,
yeah.
we don't.
I'm not
I'm not
saying
familiar
like
with
go
the
5
pinching
rounds
My
with
mom
your
used to
kids.
pinch
Yeah,
the shit
right
out
here.
of me.
Right
Yeah,
here.
my mom. Yeah, the worst
I've never
spots.
been pinched.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass.
I mean, not never.
But I'm also not saying that, like, I know the right answer either. I'm just saying this comes to me being a vegan as well. It's just where my heart lands. Like, that's just how I feel about it. I'm just, yeah. Like, it has nothing to do with other people. It has to do
Yeah.
with me and the way I've learned and the way I want to share that learning process.
Yeah.
But other people can do whatever they want, except for don't beat your fucking kid. Like, don't beat them.
No,
You can
no, like
discipline them however you want, but don't beat your child.
It's like your pets
Seems
too.
excessive.
You know, if they do something bad.
I don't hit my pets.
I
I do
know.
not hit my pets.
Okay, so you see, the pets don't have the capacity to reason. They just go about by their natural instincts. So
Right.
there's patterns of how you can teach them to be here, or like when you make a sudden sound for them to come to you.
Yeah.
But also with training dogs, there's usually some level of discipline when it comes to zapping. I've seen
Oh yeah.
I've seen how one of the forms of mentally conditioning the animal
Yeah.
is by pain. So like pain and treat. Like how can I? What's the word I'm looking for?
Tasing. The tase.
No, the tase, yes, as part of the pain, but also giving rewarding for something that they do. So if you say sit, you give it a treat. If it doesn't sit, you give it a zap, and then you make sure it knows when to sit. When I've seen a couple of videos of how they train dogs, especially German shepherds, and they use that reward pain system where they reward for listening, but they tase for not listening, for not knowing what to do, and then that creates a certain pattern in the head where they know a certain sound and they know a certain command on how they should behave or what they should do or where they should be at a particular type of time. And
Yeah.
there has to be, I feel like there has to be some level of physical interchangeable command when you're trying to discipline. That's just my opinion. Obviously,
Yeah.
you beg to differ, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Haley,
everybody's
what do you
different,
reckon? What do you make of all this? You haven't really said
Well,
much.
I was raised to always have communication with your
Yeah.
family no matter
Yeah.
what. But I was also raised to get beat the fuck up if I don't listen. So, I mean, my mom, I think as you're a child, I think it's more prone to actually maybe hit your kids and do both. I think you've got to do a balance of both. And
Yeah.
as I got older, I never really got hit anymore because my
Yeah.
mom knew that wasn't going to do anything for
Yeah.
me. Like, I was an adult.
Yeah.
But when she, said some ruder words to me, of course, that hurt me a lot more than actually getting hit. But as a child, I knew that if I talked back,
Yeah.
I would get hit.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't talk back to adults, and that's
No.
something that I see very often.
I see that more often in kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of kids don't actually get hit anymore.
Yo, if you talk back to your parents back in the day, you would get like a fucking backhanded slap
I
across
never
your
did.
face.
Real
The first
quick.
time I talked back to my mom was 8th grade. 8th grade. So like 13.
How'd that go?
Not good. Well, what it was, she had just got home. She like pulled in the driveway, and I was home from school already. And she told me something, and I can't remember what, that I don't know, couldn't stay up past my bedtime or whatever it was. And I remember I said, "Shut up," and then I caught myself.
Whoa.
And she gave me the look like, "What the fuck did you say?"
Like, did that really come
And
out
I
of my
ran inside the house and ran down to my room. I lived in the basement at the time. Ran down to my basement and just kind of, and she's like, "Russell."
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean it. It's okay, it's okay if I don't have pot or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, because my mom, pretty much by herself, raised 4 boys and a girl.
Oh shit.
5 kids, had a couple husbands, but they were shit and still moved us around. and
Ain't
kept
shit
us-
niggas.
Yeah, it was.
Obviously, you guys can say that.
I was like,
I told Tiff this the other day. So I replaced that word with brother. So it's the same.
Ain't shit, brother.
Yeah, I feel like it's that's what I do. Yeah,
Yeah,
It
that's fine.
Makes
Yeah,
sense
works.
to me.
Works for
Works
you.
for me.
Deadbeat. It's
Yeah.
also a really good term. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, so obviously we both come from different generations, but I feel like the level of how our parents raised us is more or less the same. And,
Yeah.
also there's different types of struggles. Obviously, you're predominantly Hispanic.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I am.
From whereabouts?
I
Do you know
don't
your roots?
Spanish.
We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah. I'm full Mexican, but I guess not full. I guess I
Yeah.
have German or English in me. I don't
Oh.
know.
Did
But
you-
if you know me, then you know I'm like pretty much the whitest Mexican you'll ever meet.
This is true. This is true.
It's very true.
First, second generation, or parents been here for a while?
So my mom was born and raised in Sparks, Nevada,
Oh, okay.
and my grandpa is also from Sparks, Nevada.
Okay, so 2 generations.
So,
already
and
been here.
my grandparents were the first Hispanics on a white block.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Must have been a tough time. I can't imagine. How long ago was this?
It was a long
2 generations,
time.
obviously. Yeah.
Like 60s.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Good times.
And then, just mainly you've only ever lived in Nevada, and then
Mm-hmm.
Just
But my
changed.
father is
Yeah.
from Tijuana.
Tijuana.
And when I was 13 years old, this is where I get Hispanic.
Yeah.
My father got deported.
Holy shit.
So I lived without it. My dad was the abusive one. My mom wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
abusive. Not.
well, I mean, not abusive. Like, he would hit me. Yeah, he'd hit all his kids. My dad had, like, a temper.
Okay.
Both my parents have a
Mm.
temper.
I can
So,
see
yeah.
why he got deported, but what happened then? What was?
Well,
what
I
was
was
his
raised
issue?
also by a single mother.
Okay.
So,
Shit.
yeah.
That's tough. Yeah, I can only imagine. Why is there always more single moms than single dads? I've never
Dads
understood.
don't have the kid. Dads don't have a connection.
But it's
Yeah.
your fucking
Yeah.
kid, though. Like, it's...
If you stick around.
Yeah.
What if
Otherwise
the
it's
mom
not.
bolted as well?
Yeah.
If the mom chooses to bolt, I feel like there's this... I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's always single moms.
Well, I mean, the way that humans have viewed females in history have definitely shown that if a woman were to bail on a child, that's
because a child is a 50-50 thing.
for sure.
Whereas
it takes two.
It takes
yeah.
two to have a child, and
But then the mother owns it for the first 9 months.
I get that. Yeah, of course you have.
So I think there's that tie. There is. I don't think
Yeah,
there
there is, yeah.
clearly is that tie that's puts this sort of responsibility on the mother, and the father does not have that 9-month. Oops. That 9-month connection and need and want and necessity.
we just fuck, and that's about it.
Well, and I mean,
So stupid.
the fact that how many number of sperm shoot out compared to the one egg.
Yeah.
So it's clearly men are supposed to just
Procreate.
get it after it, and women are like,
Or
Calm
the
down.
this is
nurturers.
what I have,
Yeah.
one thing or two, definitely a weird dynamic,
Yeah, even how
obviously.
females and males are the makeup of a man and a woman. The woman goes so much bullshit.
She have
Like-
no idea.
Like, I was just thinking about this the other day. There's so much bullshit. Okay, round of applause.
We brought you into this
I
world.
know. Yeah, you brought me into this world, and I'm just gonna be a dickhead again, because there's
This is a good one.
This is good.
There's
Yeah,
like
I'm liking this.
social systemic oppression of the woman who who goes through the most shit physically. Can you imagine? I can't imagine if I had to bleed out of my dick 1 week every month for the rest of my 40 years.
Well, just creating a human inside of my body would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta eat for two.
That's all I gotta say.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, we're good, we're good, we're good.
Jumping off. I don't know what's going on today.
Maybe.
Go ahead, guys. Just go ahead and have a chat. I'll just...
Yeah, we can talk about this.
Yeah.
Us ladies can absolutely talk
Yeah,
about this.
we can.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, we will. Well, you guys also talk at the same time. Hold on. We're just waiting for you guys to stop
I
talking.
need to go check the camera and see if...
It's still recording?
I'm sure it doesn't matter because we're using a podcast. We'll just...
Zipping it.
I mean, have you guys ever had a Brazilian wax?
No.
I've never had
Not
a wax.
officially
Did you
before,
say
actually.
yeah?
Not in a store. Or in a
You've had wax
wax
though.
myself.
That's good.
You do?
I have
Oh,
once.
Wax? Brazilian wax. What's that?
Yeah.
that's where you get your asshole waxed and your vagina waxed at the same time.
Why do you need to wax your asshole?
For the good angle.
She is a receptionist. Only in some videos,
Clearly.
though. Oh my
Out of
god.
the job description.
That's why we didn't talk about our job description. She's like, can we change the subject?
It's Johnson Thermal.
Johnson Thermal.
What does that mean?
Oh,
Keep your John
Johnson Thermal?
hot.
And you get closer to
what it's
the
called.
table, or maybe closer to my side as well. Yeah, it's perfect.
I close that gap over there, maybe.
That can also spin this way. Yeah, perfect. There you go.
Yeah, get you in the shot, girl.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What have we been doing this whole
I
time?
want to hear what we're hearing. Oh, shit, it's loose.
Here,
That's what she said.
here, here, here.
we sound good.
Yeah, right? We do sound good.
Actually, Haley's been the most solid. She's been aiming right there.
Oh, see? That's what I
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
It's only been 50 minutes. It's not even that long, to be fair.
Oh, wow.
We're only just begun.
We've only just begun. We actually just now started getting into good shit.
Yeah, like,
so.
you guys now are more into, you're more relaxed and
Oh, that's good.
conversation is flowing much better.
I got a set of headphones that may be a little better. Do you want to try those?
I just use this for the sake of,
Volume.
volume adjustments, and this Zoom thing helps me. So it has like this LCD display.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's not get sidetracked. So, waxing assholes.
Oh, yeah, waxing assholes.
What's that all about?
I was wondering where we were coming from.
You guys go ahead, please.
Waxing assholes.
Explain to me.
I have never waxed my asshole. I have had an ex shave my asshole, though.
I've shaved my asshole. It's great. I love a clean asshole. Mine.
It just makes it white better, you know?
Right. No dingleberries.
Yeah.
Well,
Dingleberries suck balls.
I feel like maybe this is a struggle. Yeah, I feel like this is a struggle which I would have no problem with. I have no hair on my body. I've never shaved my face.
So you don't need to shave your asshole.
My asshole is
you have a
pretty
naturally
pristine.
smooth asshole. Wow.
It's like just a couple of feathers here and there, but not no much
An actual
to.
just plucks it out.
Yeah, not much to actually like get my shit caught on it. So you just like wash after as well.
Yeah.
I've never
nice.
even Well, girls, girls, there's this thing where you guys feel like you have to shave your body hair because you think it's disgusting.
Right.
Is it based off male perception of what's the standards? Is the standard set by the guys that you guys feel like not all the girls, obviously there's girls who are. Why do you have to shave your leg hair? It's not gross as much as you think.
This goes way back in the day. This is conditioning from really, really, really far back
Like
in
the
the day.
poopy dresses with the steel cage.
Yeah,
and
this
shit.
is like conditioning.
Excuse me, what are you talking about? I don't know what that is.
Women used to wear poofy dresses and like tight like corsets, like tight waist and big old bottom.
This like perfect image of a woman.
Yeah.
It has been
Exactly.
created over time. Like what we should look like, what we should dress, what we should have shaved, like
And that
all that
includes-
shit.
I don't think it's just men that makes it that way. I think other women do that to other women as
Nowadays-
well.
Well, and I think
Oh.
also I think
Always.
women, I think people enjoy that feeling when you're clean. Like I love a clean
yeah.
shave. It just feels great. So sorry, fuck.
Is that solid?
I keep touching. Yeah, I just keep moving it because
No,
I
it's
keep
all good.
moving because I'm fidgety.
Yeah, just go ahead. Do whatever.
But I think
So you love a clean asshole, shaped nicely.
or face or
Or face.
ears or whatever. Like clean is nice. Sometimes
Clean is always nice,
Yeah.
but
But that's
hair
different.
does
That's
not
a
have
different question that
No,
you're asking.
I'm
Do you
asking.
want things clean, or why do
Everyone-
we feel like we have, or we're being judged for not shaving our legs and our armpits?
Yes,
and
that's
like,
my question.
and our why do we feel like we have to do that? Not if you want to, cool. If you enjoy the feeling, that's cool. But why do we feel like we have to do that?
Yeah.
And yeah, it is absolutely because of other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think it's the guys set of standards who society sort of
I
makes
think
it out to
it's
seem
both.
that this is acceptable?
I think it's not just males. I think it's males and females. But I do
Yeah.
think that it did stem way back in the day from males, for sure.
Okay.
That conditioning was created by how a man wants their woman to look, you know? And I think since then it's just still conditioned, and we're still kind of going through that. But women now judge women even harder than men.
Oh yeah.
But for men,
100%.
then why
Yeah.
are men allowed to get away with having beard, having no beard, shaving your pubes, not shaving your pubes?
Do
It's all
whatever you want,
acceptable.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. For guys, the pressure is not on us because we are just the way we are.
Yeah.
And then you guys love us for the way we are. But
Yeah.
when it comes to the other way around,
Yeah.
there
there's
is, mate, you're right.
so much pressure.
Good. Yeah, that stool's a bit weird.
It's alright, I'm just gonna stand. Stand in there.
You can't be standing. We might be here for a while.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I guess maybe.
Maybe you can like
You
sit
can
your
wrap
butt
that
on this shelf.
Plant up onto the thing so it's not behind you. Never mind.
You guys
good.
should be Tarzan
We can share a
and Jane
chair.
What's
we-
that? Yeah.
for Halloween.
Oh, you're
That
right.
would
We
be
should be
awesome.
Tarzan and Jane.
Oh.
We
That's
should
a
do that.
Great one.
Oh.
Good job. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
We're doing the zombie thing.
Well, yeah, we are, but that's a different time too.
the
Anyways.
We can talk about Halloween and how that's a thing, and yeah, we'll talk about that as
I
well.
love
Okay.
Halloween.
So like I was trying to say, for guys, we can just do fuck all. I can show up having mucky shoes and no one gives a shit about girls. There's that expectation of, hey, I have to show up pretty. I have to have my asshole shaved in case he's an adventurer and likes to venture.
In case he's a wanderer.
He's a wanderer, like, hey.
Gotta
Not sure where
shave
the
my
hole is.
asshole.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
And who was the first person to be like, hey, let's try this in
Right?
in the nether region? Like, how did humans get to? Why? Okay, I'm sure it's pleasurable to some people, but how did that become a thing?
How did fucking people in the asshole become a thing? Is that the question that I just got asked? Because I just want to make sure that's what was asked. Let's see.
Tiff, you got this one?
Fuck.
I know it's a fucking stupid question.
No,
but
it's not. I just wanted to
very-
make
yeah,
sure
it's very
that that's what you were
curious
asking me. It's a legitimate question. I'll answer your question, but I just wanted to make sure that's what you're
yeah, for like heterosexuals.
Yeah.
How was someone so curious or so, back in the day? Because this is not a very
Still asking.
I know.
Still asking.
it's not a
I'll
recent
answer.
thing.
I'll answer.
We need to know. The people
All right,
want to know.
Tiff, you got this one? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. First I think that like male with male, there's like not really another hole. So
Excuse me.
if you're
You can't
gay, that's
penetrate
the
a
only thing you
mouth,
got.
I guess. But
Yeah.
Well, you can.
Well, you can, yeah, but you can also fuck a butthole, so they're gonna do it. Like that's just
Between guys.
yeah, between guys for sure. So
Okay.
that's just like that seems like the natural thing,
But
and then
when it's between two guys, then that's
That's
not heterosexual.
no, so that's just like that's natural, right? So then going into me and Russell have had this conversation. We've talked about guys wanting to do it in the butt with females, and I've asked him. I'm like, is that like a thing? Like I've tried to pick his own brain. Like why do
She
you
tried,
guys
but
ask
she
me?
couldn't get it.
Because he's not into it. So I just to be completely honest, I don't know. I think in this, can I talk for this generation and not past?
It's something that you
I
can
think
relate
that porn
to.
has a huge
Fuck
thing
yes.
to do with this generation's appeal to adventure. You know, because you see it in porn, and then you're like, well, I wonder what that feels like.
But porn set. Personally, I think porn sets a false
Reality.
Yeah, that's why people are trying to do it in
It's
the
acting,
butthole.
exactly.
It's all fake. It's all set up.
Yeah, but people want to try it. They see it and they're like, "Oh yeah, I could try that."
Because in porn,
Well,
a
then you
girl
have a really
always
good shit, and you're like,
orgasms,
wow,
too.
that felt really good. I wonder
I
what
wonder
it
how
would be
good
like
that-
if it was like in and out and in and out and in and out.
Haley, is there something you want to tell us?
Wrap it around the Haley.
She always every single time.
It's true though.
Yeah, but so one of my good friends is a sexologist.
Awesome.
Yeah, she did a degree in sex studies. Apparently, that's the thing. And she
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
mentioned this to me, that one of the male's erogenous zones, so like one of the G spots,
Is in the butt.
It's the butt.
Yeah.
It's located up your.
Yeah,
anal-
the prostate milking or whatever.
Excuse me.
It's called
It's not the taint.
prostate. It's like prostate probing or whatever. Girls are into it.
Girls are into it.
Yeah, because you get the dude off through his butthole.
Oh yes, I thought you were saying girls like getting it. Yeah, no girl has ever offered to do that.
To me,
Yeah.
Not yet. Not as of
Would
yet.
you feel weirded out by it? Would you be like,
Yes.
no, please don't?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not. My mom and dad might be listening, but I'll try and save this one up. I don't care. My mom doesn't even know anything about YouTube. But it's weird that I'm mentioning them right now. I would not be. I would be opposed because he's just laughing. I would not be opposed to it, but it's not something I would say yes right away.
Yeah.
Let's say maybe sex life is struggling, and this might be one of the ways to spark a little bit something extra to try to save or like to right now I think sexually I'm in a good point where I do not need to explore further.
That holds for pooping and the other. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah.
They serve different purposes at this time. Plus, I don't think I would want to do it. I don't fancy it. I don't think
That's
it's
okay.
anything that
There's no judgment
I've
there.
ever been driven to. Like, hey, I've poked into it a couple of times. No, my finger. Like when you're trying to find your way. Yeah.
Oh my god.
When you're trying to find your way in the dark and then underneath the sheets,
Yeah.
It was an accident?
it pokes. It didn't go all the way in, but
Dude, those two holes are
wait,
very
can
close.
I
they're
just
really
say-
close to each other.
Those two holes are
How
close.
many times in your life have you said that's not the right hole?
Probably over 20?
Oh,
over 100?
over 100.
1,000.
Almost every
More.
time I
Every
fuck,
time.
I'm like, that's not the right,
Right.
hole.
And then you have to be like,
Holy
it's
shit.
not up, it's down.
They're very
up,
close.
You know,
They're
up.
very close.
Oh no.
Should we get into
Yeah,
some technical?
And then it's like, all right, just let me put that
Technical-
where that belongs.
Should we get the
And then they'll
measuring
be like,
tape out?
Well, where do I
Let's
need
get
to put it then?
All right, folks,
Can
we're
you
going to get the
direct
measuring
me?
tape out. We'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's this little neat trick
You're
I
gonna measure
I learned.
Yeah.
my
Measuring
butthole
tape,
to
yeah,
vagina.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh
well, you
would-
girls will measure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously. Anyways, so
Length or girth?
okay, I can say that. Oh, length or girth? Girth,
that's a good
girth,
question.
Girth.
Girth.
Yeah.
So
If
like
you
2
know where
inches.
you're going and what you're doing and how to do it, you don't need length, but you do need girth. And it does this. I mean, I'm not saying it's got to be fucking. There's a medium sized. Right? That's great. I'm not saying it needs to be huge. It also can't be tiny at the same time.
But
so
it's also
it just depends.
how they perform.
It's tiny.
It's how they perform. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I
yeah,
always-
because I have.
So it's the motion in the ocean.
It's
It
the
is
motion
motion
in
in
the
the
ocean.
Sweet.
Well,
Sweet.
yes.
Good.
Like my friend was mentioning, you do not need penetration to have an orgasm, obviously.
No.
But
So
sometimes
that
it-
does not work all the
it
time.
elevates your orgasmic experience with a little bit of depth,
Yeah, I would say my favorite orgasm is during sex.
stimulation.
But yeah, so like I like that. That's a nice orgasm when it's like, hello,
Yes,
everybody.
during, yes.
during.
Not
So,
just like, he'll go down
yeah,
on
not
your,
like on the side. Like
Yeah.
the clitoris is being stimulated while I'm having sex. That's the best.
clitoris.
That's how you get a girl to orgasm.
That's how you get a girl to orgasm. Yeah, don't just stare at her and rub her clit. Like
I know.
fuck her and then
playing
rub her
DJ.
clit. Yeah, what? Don't stare at me either, because now I have to close my eyes. Like,
My God.
do me and rub the clit at the same time. That's how it's done. And for everybody to know, that is how you do it.
Exactly.
Take notes, boys. Take notes.
Take notes.
There's a lot of valuable information into this podcast today. Okay.
Yes.
There's,
We are
yeah.
giving you
This is
womanhood secrets
Yes,
right now.
the secrets behind the woman's mind, and do not let her fake an orgasm.
Ah,
And also, women don't fake an orgasm.
Yeah, why would
also,
you do that?
to get it
Please
over with.
don't.
Man.
Yeah, to get it over with.
I've faked before. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, if it's not good and you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm done.
And
Jesus.
then that's also like a bit, though. So, like, to fake an orgasm, you just
Let's
gotta,
have
like,
it. Let's have it. Let's have it.
make the sound and then just spit on the back. That's it.
No.
Very easy. Very simple.
How many times have you done that, Russell?
I haven't. I've
Mate,
never used that move
if
that
you
particularly,
spat
but
on
I've faked
someone's
it.
back, I
So
think they
faked
would
it, you
know.
just like do the jerking motion and moan a couple times,
And then
shoot it like on the wherever.
if you spat on her,
Right.
she'll hear the spitting sound from the mouth.
No, you can't. No.
Unless you're like
gotta-
pretending to get it more wet.
You're not in there.
Oh my gosh.
You're not like. No, it's just. Like
Hey, I will know if you
got like
swallow
tobacco in the jaw.
All right, bring it back. Bring it back. All right. Fuck.
Yeah. So, I don't get gross when I fake an orgasm, but I faked an orgasm, and it's
sometimes
it's just
you
to
have
get
do
it.
what
It's
you
just
gotta
to
do.
get it over with. Like,
Yeah.
let's move on. I'm tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And also, guys, don't be upset if a girl does an orgasm every single time.
Right.
That's where porn
That's on your
comes
time.
in.
That's on the girl's time.
Yeah.
That's where porn comes.
That's
in.
acting.
Yes.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be mad if the girl does an orgasm. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes sex is just good enough. Yeah.
Is it though?
Yeah, I'm satisfied
Because
when
completely-
my partner
completely.
when my partner gets off. That it makes
That's
me
like a
satisfied.
clap for me, you
Yeah,
know?
I am
I'm
very
happy.
satisfied.
Yeah.
So
with
I
it.
feel
honestly.
ashamed if the girl doesn't.
And I think every
Achieve.
guy
and I
does.
appreciate
Not
that.
this guy, I
I
don't.
do appreciate that.
I'm cool with it.
Like because I'm like
Because sometimes I don't come, and that's fine. And they
oh,
do.
really?
Yeah.
I feel like for guys it's easier to get them off than for a girl.
Way easier.
Well, it's
way
like-
fucking easier.
Yeah, it's
Hey, grab
either
this handle. I got this thing.
a
It's
couple of tags here and there, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
the magic happens. But with girls, there's a lot which goes into it.
yeah.
It's delicate.
I guess it's a delicate flower. You
Needs
have
a
to
manual.
understand the.
You gotta
y-
water it.
You have to
You
understand.
need to water
Damn, Haley.
You gotta
Haley's a
water
freak.
it.
Water it.
You gotta take it to dinner.
Yeah, And another thing, guys, should not be ashamed to ask. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
What
Hey,
do you like?
be like,
Yeah.
hey, how do you like it? What do you want me to do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to
Patience.
face this way? Do you want to? Are you tired? Are your knees giving in for a bit? Just communicate. Don't feel like you need to be Rambo and go and I'll destroy this. Just
Go
be-
rumble in.
just
Going in for a battle.
yeah, just go
Oh,
ahead, just
yeah.
take it easy. Be honest, and it will improve your sex life 100%.
Yeah. Be mindful.
Yeah, for sure.
Be
Be
mindful.
mindful.
I was reading this thing somewhere where back in the day, Greek mythology times, where a small penis was more desirable because of the look. Because even now, even if you look at the statues that they have erected, no pun intended, in Greece, it's only.
I didn't want to miss that.
Oh shit.
You fucking dickhead. They've always been like very tiny, and then you find this Adonis of a guy like he's very strong, or like even Zeus, or not Zeus, Hercules. It used to be more desirable if it's not lengthy and big, because it was more about the look and not really more about the
Protubis.
protubis.
Yeah.
Big word. It's just interesting. But nowadays, I feel like it kind of the pendulum swung the other way. Whereas now, guys are trying to get lengthy and girthier.
Yeah.
Uh,
Size matters. Oh.
But I feel I don't know anything about penises. You guys should I should not even be giving this lecture.
Size doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's how you perform.
Yeah.
You could have it be hung and be the most boring person in bed.
Ooh,
Right.
and
Yeah.
not fun. Not
Oh
fun.
God,
There is such thing as way too fucking big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Yeah. I can feel it in my stomach, and
Have you
I'm like
If
not
it
feeling
hurts,
good.
it's
Yeah,
like, dude, this
hell.
is uncomfortable.
Have you had
But
encounters?
also, oh wait, I do want to put this out there. Our anatomy, humans are all different. So a female, my fucking insides, my anatomy is different than Haley's anatomy. So
Yeah.
the size of penis that she can handle is different than what I can handle.
Right.
And everybody, that's why when you find a partner that it feels good with, that's a real thing.
I
Because
believe that.
your anatomy is one, and like that works. But there's some people that just like, our anatomy is different and it does not work, and this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so human anatomy is all different. And so you do find, when they say, like, when you find someone that it's just like, fuck, the sex has never been that good. Like, well, your anatomy is lining up. Like, it's working very well for you.
Yeah. when did sex?
Yeah. No, that's great. I agree with that.
Russ, you need some adjustments there. I see.
I'll bet. That was good.
When did sex move from a procreating activity to
Recreating.
Recreational. Recreational sex.
Explorative
Going
behavior?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Obviously, I don't have the answer. None of us are like sex gods.
Oh my
Well,
God.
maybe Russ.
No.
Yeah, you know,
I'd
but
say I used to be, but it'd
But-
be a lie.
but back in the day when same thing as when I asked you that question, where who was the first heterosexual male to be so curious to venture south?
South,
the dirt
yeah.
path.
To the dirt road. Down the dirt road.
Mud shark.
The stinky alley.
The muddy waters.
Murky waters.
Fuck me.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, obviously, you find with science there's been more output when it comes to people defining themselves in different types of ways. Because as a heterosexual male, not that I'm against homosexuals or any other forms of. People call other people who have sexual orientations that it's a choice, a lifestyle choice. But do you think it is? Do you think someone's born gay?
Do I think it's a lifestyle choice? Do I think people are born gay? I think that I have my own perspective on that.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
don't know if other people's perspectives align with mine. I think that I have heard from people that I have genuinely heard from a gay person that they feel like they were born gay. For me personally, I don't think I was born gay. I don't know, because I can't fucking remember when I came out of the womb how I felt about males and females. So I don't think I can actually say that, like, ever. Scientifically, I'm not sure. I know that I have had very serious experiences in my life that have made me think the way I think.
Okay,
They've
so-
made me open to women, and that has made me open to that aspect where I'm like, oh yeah, okay, so I could be into both women and men.
So is sexuality an identity thing, or by birth thing? So you obviously just reveal that you're a bisexual.
Yes.
Mm.
Damn.
I'm learning like new things about you.
We
every
have
single
had
day.
this conversation at the.
No.
We have had this conversation. Yes, we have. We talked about this.
never told me you
a couple
fancy
months
chicks.
ago. Yeah. This was like
For months.
when we were.
I think I would remember if you were bisexual.
Okay. Well, anyways, welcome to my life.
Maybe I'm just pretending that I don't remember for the
No,
sake
it's
of the
fine.
show.
It's fine. It's
I don't know,
fine.
but maybe in passing, but I don't remember. Just
I can't remember which bar we were at, but you and me and Jenny and Greg was there and Russell was there, and I think.
who's Greg?
Remember our friend Greg? You met him once, like maybe at that bar. What bar
He's a
was that?
sweet
Were you
soul.
there?
What? When was this?
Payette Brewing. We were all sitting outside in the circles.
Oh,
Yeah.
Louise was there.
Luis was there, yeah.
I
And we
wasn't.
were having that conversation.
Haley wasn't there.
Yeah, we were having that conversation.
Why were we talking about this? How did it? Oh, obviously
I don't
we
remember
talked
how
about-
we. How
Okay,
it
so
got
you're
brought up.
bisexual.
Yes,
And when did you realize that?
I was
you
really
were
young.
into girls.
I was super young.
So you were into girls first before you were into boys.
No, I was into boys.
Oh,
Yeah,
because that's social
'Cause that's
conditioning. Girls
natural.
like boys. Yeah.
yeah, that's natural. Yeah, no, I'm 100% solely into a human as they are. But yeah, I was super young. But I also, like I said, and I can't speak for everyone. I can't say that everyone has had situations in their life that have made them think differently, like alter their view and thoughts. But when I was young, I definitely had a lot of sexual encounters with females.
As a soccer
That
player
were
as
not
well.
a choice. No, not soccer. It was outside of soccer.
One of my good friends would tell me that she used to play soccer, and
Yeah.
in the changing rooms, soccer girls are very dykey. I'm not sure if that's a sensitive word to use. Whereas girls would always try and get with every single girl. Even back at home, I have a couple of gay friends, and their ambition always seems to me that they think they can change every single guy, which I think is hilarious.
Change every guy?
Like,
Guys.
they think they can convert a straight guy into a gay guy by them having sex with them. Apparently, to that, I feel like there's a certain type of pressure which is put onto people who fancy the same sex, and because you can't, with society, you can't just be open, especially from back at home. Now it's becoming more and more
Socially
acceptable.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, please, by all means. We're kind of running.
We gotta get fresh.
No worries. Yeah, it's getting better, but
Right.
there's this social pressure where, we know we have friends who we know are gay but still in the closet. I'm sure you do.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why. Yes,
Okay. Yeah, there is a lot of social pressure. I just want to clear up the thing about thinking that you can make somebody be straight because you're gay. That really bothers me. That's like one thing that it's like, I don't know why that happens, but it does bother me because I think that it's not. Why would people do that? And it creates this like stigma behind like, oh, because you're gay now you might be interested in anybody, which is like, what? No, like that's not a thing. And it makes like, I don't know, it's not cool. I don't like when gay people do that, or like
they try to
whatever
force you
are.
into it.
Yeah, it's like just be who you want to be. You don't need to be forced into it. And
yeah, because
and
they
it makes
think it's
shit
anybody.
awkward. Yeah, and it makes things so awkward when
Yeah.
you are like, oh yeah, I'm gay, but no, I don't fucking like you.
No, yeah.
Like that's so annoying. I hate when people just assume that.
Did you get hit on a lot, Haley, by the lesbos, or
Do
guys
I?
as well? Yeah.
Well, two of my best friends are bisexual.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got?
Yeah.
Are you bisexual or
No, I'm
very
not
hetero?
bisexual. No, I'm not.
Is it awkward sometimes when you're hanging out? Okay, well, it shouldn't be, because
Regardless of what that person is or what they choose to love, that doesn't define who they are as a person. Their
Yeah.
friendship is your friendship. You value that person no
True.
matter what.
True.
And that's something that people need to realize.
How long until you think society will fully accept the LGBT
know.
community? Because now, do you think they're going about it the right way?
I mean, yeah, I think things have come full circle, and I think things are progressing very well. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, like I said, the only thing I don't like is when that's like forced upon someone. Like, oh, everyone's gay. No, not everyone's gay. Like, and no, not everybody has to be gay. Like, why does that? That doesn't need to be said or thought. And that's the only thing that gets me.
Oh, yeah?
I think.
Okay. Interesting. But now begs the question. Gender identity. What's that all about?
Oh, like identifying with
Yeah.
they and them.
They, them thing.
They, them, if you're male or female. Like that.
Yep.
What's that about?
What's that about? Because
People just wanting to. I don't know.
I feel like that's a very Western struggle.
Yeah, like not like. I know that people have a lot of belief behind wanting to change their gender and be gender fluid and like they and them, and I understand gender fluidity. I do understand that, like women not wanting to have like that view of like, oh, I'm a woman or a man, like I'm just a human. So gender fluidity is being like, I'm just a human, like don't call me male or female, I am a human.
Yes.
So gender fluidity is kind of beautiful. That's trying to take this twist off of like, stop all of this male female bullshit, let's just be fluid, let's be humans.
Yes.
So I do understand that. I think that's I can grasp that. I understand. I think it's kind of a beautiful movement in a way. But I don't. I love being a woman.
Yes.
At the same time. I'm like, I'm a
Exactly.
fucking woman, and
Yeah.
I'm proud to be a woman. Like, I love who I am, and that's who I want to be. I'm proud that I was born a woman. Like, I think that's fucking awesome. But other people feel differently than I do, and I'm not sure that I understand that viewpoint well enough to even say anything about it. because I just don't understand the way where they're coming from.
Have you met any
Yeah, lots of transgender
gender
people.
fluid people? Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah, and
there's a
gender fluid.
difference between transgender and being gender,
gender fluid, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
Because
my
apparently now
girls.
there's like 60 ways people that can identify as.
Yes, there's a lot of ways that people
Makes
can
sense.
identify.
Yeah.
Which I don't, to be completely honest, I don't know why. I don't enjoy being called bisexual, and I don't call myself bisexual. I just want to put that out there.
So how would you want us to describe you?
I'm just a fucking
Loving.
human. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just a
loving.
loving human. I'm not bisexual, and I'm not
Loving
a
in
lesbian.
all ways.
I don't know why. I don't like these definitions.
You don't need
like I'm like
titles
I'm
for
just a fucking
everything.
human, man. I'm a loving human.
Ideally, that would be great, but nowadays there's a need for people to identify,
Yeah,
and
to
that's why it's
identify.
becoming a
I do understand why
social
other people
crisis
feel that way.
almost.
Yeah.
Because like nowadays, it's in some countries they've passed laws where if you misgender someone, it's punishable by it's a criminal offense.
Yeah.
So if you identify as they them, and I call you a he and you're a she, but you don't choose to identify other, you can sue me for emotional damage and there's criminal charges or depending on the country.
Sure.
And I'm like, yes, I would love for you to identify the way you want to identify as a giraffe or an elephant. But the thing is, don't put the pressure back on me if I misgender or if I
Yeah.
Totally.
If you don't look like a giraffe, if you look like an alligator, but you want to be a
like,
giraffe, go ahead.
I will perceive
Yeah,
you from what I
totally.
can see.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, Russ.
What's up, dude? Like, bro, I'm a
Bro.
girl.
And that's
my
perfectly
God.
fine.
I'm
Just
gonna
tell
sue
me.
your ass.
How dare you call me a he? Like it kind of also contributes to this outrage culture that's forming in our society where people just want to get angry
Yeah.
over nothing. Hey, look, you look like a girl. I use my pronouns by describing you as her,
Yes.
but maybe you're here. Just tell me, hey, I'm actually a transgender guy, so I appreciate just.
Yeah.
And now that I know that, if I insist on like misgendering you purposely for the sake of abuse,
Hater,
like
Right.
being a hater, then that's another thing. But I don't think it should warrant criminal charges.
No way.
I'm just being a
absolutely
dickhead.
not.
You know what I mean? People,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people are mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
people are
should be
mean.
against the law to be a dickhead, though. I'm gonna put that. It should be against the law to be an asshole. Like you have to take tests to get a driver's license, but then you can go ahead and like be a dickhead with a driver's license. I don't know.
Okay. So now we're venturing into different territory. Whereas someone's personality, there's great minds who have had, who've been shitheads. Like,
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And sometimes in life, to succeed, you kind of have to be an asshole. Sometimes you don't have to be like.
But that's the route. that
With
goes.
what society is shaping up to be, people are becoming less sensitive to other human beings, which I feel is fucking stupid. Same reasons why we have even wars. Why do we have to fight with other countries? Because of self-interests, and that's
Yeah.
already a dickish
Yeah,
move,
completely.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just going on a rant right now. I don't know.
No,
what I'm
no.
talking about.
No, but it's true.
I think
Being an asshole, it comes in various forms.
for sure.
And like we were talking about, people who purposely misgender people, I feel like, yes, you're being a dickhead, you're being homophobic, being racist at the same time. Maybe, it comes in different shapes. But it should not be acceptable, obviously. But I guess maybe we haven't had this debate enough for us to actually decide on what or where we stand on such issues in society at the moment.
Right.
Haley. I feel like you guys are just nodding.
Go.
Preach. Yeah, what do you think? What do you make of all of this?
I agree.
She agrees. Haley agrees.
So
Yeah, so even like... Yeah, humans will always be self-serving in a way. And we will always question what we don't understand and be
Yeah.
against something that we don't understand. Because even
Yes.
like right now here in the US, there's so much shit going on.
Yeah.
What's up with that when it comes to my brothers and sisters getting gunned down.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shit.
But here, I feel like sometimes the news kind of blows things out of proportion.
I
It's
think
always
the
negative.
media is the problem of America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because what
I'm
the
back
rest of the
that.
world sees might not reflect on what's going on the ground. I know there is racial imbalance
Right.
and systemic oppression in and among colored folks
Yeah.
here, but the everyday struggles are the same between whites, blacks, and
Exactly. I
and
completely agree with
wherever you come from, because there's still poor white people. There's a lot of there's
Yeah,
more poor
fuck
white
yeah.
people than poor black people. But why is it like that? Because you guys have the richest country in the world when it comes to resources and financial resources.
Yeah.
You can elevate every single person from this country from poverty, but why don't you choose to do that? Do you think it's the type of system of governance you guys have here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think it's our system.
agree.
Why is everyone then so content about it?
So
Well, not everyone. Like,
Right.
there isn't any political movement. Maybe it's because, I don't know.
I think the masses are definitely becoming more conscious and evolving and realizing that we are actually independent people and that there's more to just think about, because this goes back to history. First of all, America's a baby when it comes to countries. It's very young. America has not been around that long in relevant time to other countries, right?
It's been around for a while, though.
But not as long as others. We're still a baby, like
Yeah.
200 and something
300
years. 300. Yeah, almost 300 years, right? So that's so young for a country. Like America has evolved for sure, but yes, we have evolved ways,
so
because we used to be
it depends on
horrible.
it depends on where you find yourselves now. I feel
Yeah.
you guys are the wealthiest nation in the world.
Yes. So I think
the-
we're trying to change things.
Why is everything so fucked up?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's less fucked up than it used to
I
be.
hate that I'm talking shit about.
No, it's
because
true,
I
though.
I love the United States. I've
Yeah.
met really good people during my time here, and
Right.
I'm just surprised about the sorry state that people find themselves in, whereas you can't even afford healthcare, basic necessities.
Yeah. Yeah, it is super fucked up. It is still very fucked up. I think we're trying to change things. But it for sure is very fucking hard.
Russ is just smiling.
We have come so far, though, as a country, compared to the shit that we used to do to humans and healthcare and all of that stuff. Women didn't even get time off to have a fucking baby.
And
we
that's
still
another
don't
thing.
have a lot of time, but shit, at least we have some time.
Why-
Like, we have come a long way.
But like, you guys boast of having what are the most advanced, maybe not the most advanced, but being very democratic and very, your political system being very advanced in comparison to other parts of the world.
Right.
But it's this social issues that you never really address. Like, let's say maternity leave.
Yeah.
I feel like every mom deserves at least 3
A
months.
year.
I know. Okay. A year. Because like your brothers and sisters from Germany, they give 2 years off
For men and women.
for men and women.
Really?
Yes.
That is news to me.
And if you choose to work, you work part-time and get 80% of your wages paid.
Yes.
Full
Yes.
full ride, actually. But if you choose to take full maternity leave, I think you get paid leave for those 2 years or however long you need, and it's 50% of your wages you get paid every month.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
It's fantastic.
it's amazing. I think America is one of our biggest problem is that we are so fucking selfish. Everything is made of self. We do things for ourselves. We grow for ourselves. We get rich for ourselves.
Right.
We do this for ourselves. Like we grow. We've been designed to be individuals and like grow and be our own person and do this all for ourselves instead of realizing we're a community and we need to do things for each other. If we're gonna get wealthy, let's get wealthy together. Let's work on systems like maternity leave and healthcare and all this stuff for one, because we are one. Like we and it goes all the way up to the very top.
Playing
So-
devil's advocate here.
Yes, yes.
Do you think maybe that's the reason why your country's become so successful?
Why we've become so successful?
Do you think
Because
that's
we
the
are
reason
very
why
self-driven.
you've become very successful.
Yeah, I think that
By everyone just focusing on
themselves.
being the best they can to,
Right.
and then just having like a fucking big brother sort of as the government,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
just make sure that
Yeah.
everyone's doing their best, and we will sort out everything else in the future once we
Yeah.
accumulate a certain amount of wealth. But
So I think that that's totally right. I think you are definitely right. I think that the thing is that we do so good at we have done such a good job at teaching people that they should be their best selves, and their best selves is making a lot of money. And that's where all of our biggest problem is. Instead of being our best selves and not worrying about money and realizing that, yes, that is a very important part and we do need a certain amount to survive and live healthy and all of that stuff. There is a certain amount. I absolutely agree. But we don't teach people how to be their best selves. Like self-care, self-love, like
Yeah.
working on our minds.
And that's what we're
And that's
trying
where, that's
to
kind of where we're
incorporate.
like fucked at that. That's why we're so fucked up. Because we've worked very hard at getting money as a country. We've worked very hard at being financially wealthy.
and now you
being
have
able to
everything,
support
but you don't have a good social
mental health.
setting.
Yeah,
to
our mental
flourish.
health is fucked. Everyone's fucked.
People don't even believe mental health is an issue in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, insurances don't cover mental conditions.
No, they don't.
They do. They do nowadays.
They do
Nowadays, now that it's become an issue,
But it's
especially when it comes to
expensive.
shootings.
Yes.
There's
Mine's included.
and suicide.
It's you.
Blue Shield, Blue Cross.
Mine's not.
But Russ, you mentioned that you're covered by the time you spent at the Air Force.
Yeah.
Your health insurance,
Yeah.
which I think it's great. You
Right.
you gave yourself to the country, and the least
Yeah.
that they could do in return is to just make sure that once you're out of all that, you are still functioning as a human being, because I'm sure you got exposed to some really serious stuff out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was in Afghanistan for 4 months, in Kuwait for 4 months. And-
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I was in Bagram, which is in the middle of the Himalayas, I believe, like off on the east, maybe. But no, it's interesting. So when you get out of the military, the level of disability determines the level of coverage. So I didn't have any disabilities. I mean, I have a little ring in my ear because I worked on the flight line. I worked around the jets.
Yeah.
A little bit of ringing, but I didn't document it, so it wasn't recorded.
I thought they should just have a universal blanket which covers every physical aspect
Yeah.
of.
Well, and it kind of does. So 10% disability is what everybody gets.
All right, just go ahead.
And-
So come in. It's all good.
And I only have the basic 10%, but if the more injured you are, the more benefits you get, the more coverage.
Really? We can actually take a quick break. It's been an hour 20 minutes. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah,
shit,
it's
you're
all
good,
good.
man.
We need to change up the memory card. I'm sure it's full. You're in it.
Yeah,
All right, guys. We'll be right back after this.